Good afternoon, all of you. Today we are going to talk about the importance of thought process in spiritual development. Now, last session, last year 2024, I had taken up the topic of self. Okay, so we were dealing with self love and how we could get over the wounds. Now, gradually, this 2025, we will dedicate to the development of the thought process, which will ultimately lead to the inspirational attitudes of spiritual development. That is the utmost power of the spirit within us to do the best in life, to get the best consequences out of the lifespan that we have been given by the Almighty. And latter part of 2025, we would like to connect the two topics of thought and self, and then we will see it leads to what next. So today the thought process that we will talk about is something that is fundamental to our spiritual growth, I would say. Our thought process, that we often focus on actions, rituals and external practices, but the foundation of true spiritual development that lies in how we think is most important in our development. Now, these thoughts shape our emotions, our actions, and ultimately our connection with the divine or higher consciousness. Now, the power of thought is what? It is everything in life, and everything in life begins with a thought, actually. Before we speak, before we act, before we make decisions, there is always a thought that precedes it. In spiritual development, our thoughts act as seeds that determine the quality of our inner and outer experiences. Positive thoughts create peace, love, and harmony within us. Negative thoughts would lead to anxiety, fear, and disconnection from our higher self. Ancient scriptures and modern psychology both affirm that as a man thinks, so he becomes. This means our inner world of thoughts is the blueprint of our spiritual reality. So this word blueprint has a vital role to play, and this blueprint is what we are learning today, or we would learn in 2025 around the full year, to create a successful blueprint by which we can develop our spirituality. And that blueprint would be drawn by the graphics of thought process. Okay, now the link between thought process and spiritual growth is deep. Spiritual growth is not just about performing rituals or reading scriptures. It is about inner transformation also, mostly inner transformation, and that transformation is impossible without conscious control over our thoughts. So this consciousness is another key word. Please note this down. Consciousness leads to higher consciousness. Okay, if our thoughts are filled with anger, resentment, or greed, no amount of meditation or prayer will bring us closer to peace. But if we cultivate thoughts of love, gratitude, and compassion, our spiritual journey becomes effortless. This is why mindfulness and self-awareness are crucial in spiritual paths, like different kinds and different religions and sects, and even in modern self-help philosophies. By observing our thoughts, we can filter our negativity and nurture a mindset that aligns with spiritual wisdom. So this alignment word is another key word that you got to note down now. So please note down these keywords. Okay. Then we have techniques to refine the thought process. Questions arise. How can we refine our thought process to accelerate our spiritual growth? So the link between the growth of spiritual power, and the process of thought. What is this connection? How deep is it? That has to be realized by the individual self. Okay. So mindfulness meditation is important. First of all, I would say spend time each day observing your thoughts without judgment. This helps in understanding the thought patterns and replacing negative ones with positive ones. So you have to be witness of your own thoughts first. Affirmations and positive thinking is the next one, where you will practice repeating positive affirmations like I am peaceful, I am connected to the divine, or I chose love over fear. I choose love over fear. These things which other, Raj Yoga also teaches us. This almost reprograms our subconscious brain, mind also. Okay. Gratitude practice is another vital important thing. When you are in gratitude, you are always contentment. You're not in resentment. Okay, you're celebrating in contentment. That is peace. The seat of soul is always at peace. Okay. So expressing gratitude daily shifts the mind from scarcity based thought, that is, operating your mind from a poverty, black hole of poverty. That thought process to an abundance based one would be created if you practice gratitude. Gratitude is difficult to practice, but still I will discuss this in detail later on. Now I'm mentioning the important points that you have to practice for spiritual development through your thought process. Okay. Self-inquiry means very important. That is a Gyan Yoga, also it's called, that is knowing yourself. Who am I? Are my thoughts aligned with my higher self? These thoughts can deepen your spiritual understanding. Then you have to go for satsang. Satsang means in the company of wise people, surrounding yourself, associating with people who are spiritual teachers, the spiritual books that give you information about that narrate information about these self-development inner work of the spirit, and like-minded people also can help you to transcend into high vibrational thought process. The impact of a pure thought process on life would be absolutely great. It would transform into inner peace and lesser stress, least stress, I would say, not less only. Our relationships also would improve. Compassion would be on the higher side. That is, we would operate from empathical outlook. We become more resilient and find meaning in life's challenges, and most importantly, we feel deep sense of connection with the universe. So this connecting with the universal power, that is the God or the higher self. These are all the three faces, universe, God, and your higher self. The three faces of your highest consciousness, right? The three countenance, I would say. Ultimately, the spiritual development is not about escaping reality, but about transforming the way we perceive and engage with it. So reality, you have to be grounded. Reality in the sense, grounding is important. You cannot escape from the body. At the same time, you have to be apart from the body and feel yourself as the spirit witnessing the activities of the body.
Cravings of the body.
We would say, to sum up, that our thought process is the foundation of spiritual journey, and if we master our thoughts, we master our destiny. If we ignore them, even the most elaborate spiritual practices will remain superficial. So you have to pay heed to this. Now we will do the activities or discussion of these important activities which we ought to conduct for our spiritual development, stage by stage, in every episode. For today, this is all. Thank you.